What's up, guys? It's James from James' Reptiles, and today I'm going to talk about investment animals. Right here in my hands, I have roughly like $3,500, almost $4,000 in just geckos, just these 3 geckos, all different species. First off, we'll start off with my crested gecko. I'm going to talk about him first so I can put him away because he's real jumpy. This is my lily white crested gecko. Hoping it's a male, not quite sure yet. Just growing it up. By the time it's an adult, I mean, especially if it's a male, adult male lily whites can go for like $2,000, even if they're not that great. It's just the genetic and the supply and the demand of it at this current moment in time. So let me put him away real quick. Of course, I do have to feed on my crested today, so maybe he's a little hungry. Next up, we'll talk about this guy right here. This is my male whiteout patternless fat tail, and he's not as big as I want him to be right now. I did just separate him, so hopefully he'll beef up a little bit. He was with a couple of females. Just I had nowhere to put him, and I mean, it's an $800 gecko, but unfortunately I didn't have the space for him. Like I said, it is an $800 gecko. That's not what I paid. I got a employee discount where I work. And quite frankly, that's not what they're actually worth. That's what we charge, is probably more $400 right about now with the market the way it is, which is about what I paid. And he'll be breeding to a bunch of females, some het patternless, some normal, some hopefully het patternless. And I'll be producing het patternless whiteout, patternless, and patternless whiteout this next coming year. And that'll just skyrocket. And with the lily white, I forgot to mention, it's a co-dominant, so I'll put up with most of my females, if not all of them, and just produce tons of lily whites. Give me 1 second, let me put them back. This right here is my newest investment animal. This is a very expensive animal. It's the most expensive animal I own. First off, what it cost me, this animal, first off, what it is. So it's a black knight eclipse leopard gecko. The owner swears it's not eclipse. I know it's an eclipse. Just I've seen literally over 40,000 animals. I know 40,000 leopard geckos. I know it's a black knight. I know it's an eclipse. You can tell by the piebalding, the solid black eyes, piebalding on the arms and the feet. This animal, he has a ever so slight underbite, and then a little bit of a tail kink, but it's with black knights, it's kind of what you expect. There's a little bit, he has this stripe down the back, so there's just a little bit of yellow, and then some on this, just a tiny bit on the sides. So I was hoping with the stripe, maybe a super snow, but the more I thought about it, I was like, he's got that yellow. There's no way, because a super snow eclipse black knight. So a super snow eclipse. Super snow is two copies of the snow gene. Eclipse is 2 copies of the eclipse gene, which makes the visual, and that's what's called a galaxy, and that's the combination is the galaxy. So a black knight galaxy is especially one that would have been this dark would have been insane, but this is a black knight eclipse. I paid, it's a male, I paid $1,400 for this animal, and I got a couple other things with it too. He threw in some other stuff, but this animal is not going to be breeding. I'm not going to keep it. I don't have anything to breed it to. I have like a blizzard female and a bell, so there's not much I can do there. This animal will be flipped. I will be having professional pictures taken by a animal photographer I know who does it professionally. He's coming by later this week. Hopefully you get some nice pictures of it on maybe a black backdrop or a white backdrop, something to make that black and white pop. And it'll go right on Fauna. If you're interested in it, it will be on Fauna. If I can figure out how to, I'll put a link. I'll put a link to the Fauna page in the description. If you just want to see it. It'll probably be up there for $2,000. Part of the reason black knights, especially one this black, go for around $1,750 to like $2,000. I know on Geckos, etc., they sell ones this black for $22.50 sometimes, and that's pretty high, I think, personally. But I'm not trying to sit on it for a while. I am trying to kind of get rid of it. I want to use the money. I want to buy a vision rack and hopefully have that for this next breeding season. And of course, none of those really are eclipse either, so there really aren't many, if any at all. There's none that I could really find Black Knight eclipses for sale. There are Black Knight head eclipse, Black Knight snow head eclipse, and some other random stuff like that, but there's no Black Knight eclipse, and he's in shed. I mean, he's that dark and he's in shed, and he's only gonna get darker. That's how Black Knights work. So it's really name my own price, because if you want it, no one has it. And guess what? It's a recessive. If you want it, I mean, leopard geckos are year to year, egg to egg. It'd still take you 2 years to produce a visual. If you took a Black Knight and bred it with an eclipse, and then you get Black Knight head eclipse, but then your Black Knights aren't very dark, and you breed 2 of those back together, and you get some visuals, but they're not super dark, and you have to keep trying. I really lucked out with this animal, you know. It was up there for a while. The guy kept commenting every couple hours. He'd be like, oh, I lowered the price, I lowered the price. Someone come get it, like this and that, and I need it gone, please. So no one was answering. I think the real reason is everyone kind of liked it and loved it, and it was a good price for the animal, but no one had any kind of money like that. So I said, you know what? This is a risk I'm willing to take. I put this animal on my credit card. I have very high credit, I have very high available credit. My credit score is very good. So I put this animal on my card. I pay monthly. I pay my, you know, way more than the minimum amount. And it didn't really do that much, honestly. But this animal is a stunner, and hopefully I can get it to its forever home. And, you know, it's a win-win-win for everybody. He got a little bit of money for what he needed. I'm going to get a little bit of profit, let me buy my rack, and this new customer, whoever it may be, is going to get a amazing animal that they can either just add to their collection as a pet or something like that. Now, one thing I am toying with the idea of is I have a little bit of extra money this month. There's no specific reason. I could pay off some more debt. I could, not that I have a lot. I could pay off some money. I could put it in savings. I could put it in my personal savings, my investment account. The one thing I really want to do is I want to get, I'll probably do it over here, is I want to get a Exoterra, some kind, you know, one of these, maybe one of the tall ones. I can put it up top over here, or one of the long ones I can put it across. And I want to get some kind of pet animal, and I want it to be blue. So what I'm thinking, milk tree frogs, Amazon milk tree frogs. I don't believe you can really house them together, so I do have one, and I'd love to put them in there and get them, you know, some other buddies, but I don't think they would do well. I'm gonna have to do some more research on that. There's some other blue frogs I like. The blue phase White's tree frogs are really cool. I could pick a couple of those up, probably at the show for pretty cheap. I'll be vending the show, so they might even give me a discount. Vendors, I would give a vendor a discount, so I imagine, you know, hospitality with your fellow vendors. I could get a, you know, really long Exoterra and raise up some kind of snake. A Vietnamese Blue Beauty would be really cool. Obviously, if you're following the channel and you know I lost my phone for a couple of days, I didn't lose it, I broke it, I had to get a new one. That took a couple of days to ship in the mail. I missed the clutch I was first in line for by like 3 whole days. He sold half of them out of the egg. He took deposits on half of them out of the egg, so I lost my spot in line there. None of the other ones I've seen this season are very good, very blue. And there is a weight line on the very blue ones. I forget who exactly it is who's breeding them, but he said he's got like a 5-year wait for the bluest. He breeds them for the blue. They're almost denim color at this point. Another snake I really am interested in is Blue Barons Racers. My buddy Glenn, who I actually do some work for on the side, he picked up a female. I forget who he got it from, but there was no male and he couldn't buy male from anyone else because his female is the bluest of the blue that you can get. No one else has them. One animal I don't think I'd be able to keep here in such a small space, but I would love to have as a display animal is a blue tree monitor. That's one of my dream animals. Even if I could build an enclosure, I wouldn't be able to afford it right now. I mean, I would, but it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. It's kind of iffy. So if you have any other ideas, if you have blue insects or something like that, if you throw ideas out there, it definitely helps. But if you can make smart decisions and invest in certain animals, like I have my investment animals and they're gonna produce breeders, and even if there's like the lily white, even if the babies are $1,000 in a year when it's breeding, if they're $500, it's $500 a gecko. That's more people are gonna buy them because they're so much cheaper. The black knight, it's not worth it to me. I have nothing to breed it to. Black knights are plummeting in price right now. That's why I don't want to sit on it either. I think 8 months ago they were more like $4,000. Maybe a year ago they were more like $4,000. So they've plummeted, and that's just kind of the way it goes with these quick to breed animals. Demand goes down because price goes down, or supply goes up because everyone's breeding them. So demand goes down because there's so many, and then price follows and goes down. So this is a very rare animal. It's one of the most expensive geckos. It's one of the most expensive leopard geckos on the planet right now by far. Like, it's up there. It's in the 1%. I don't know many leopard geckos that are more than $2,000 right now. I think $2,250 on geckosetcetera.com is probably the most expensive leopard gecko I know at the time. I know lemon frost have plummeted. And the fact that it's an eclipse and I could really name my own price. If I wanted to sit on it, I could name my own price and sell it to a breeder. And it would probably be the most expensive leopard gecko for sale. But that's not what I want to do. That's not how I'm going to make money. And I understand that, and I'm playing the short game here because I know the long game is not going to pay off as well as it could or as I need it to. And there aren't many geckos, even other species. Like, I know there's probably some leachies that get up there. I'm sure there's some gargoyles that are pretty, $1,000 or $2,000. There's crested geckos, exanthics, and lily white head exanthics are, $5,000, $6,000. That's insane. One day, shoot, but they'll be a lot cheaper by the time I get there. There's just a little chat about investment, and showing off my 3 main investment animals and their different species and all about them. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, james@jeptiles@gmail.com. If you have any questions, hit me up on social media if you want to see pictures of these guys, or if you can DM me if you have questions. Ask comments and ask questions in the comments. If you have any suggestions for blue animals or something you would like to see as a channel pet, let me know. Leave it in the comments. I'm definitely going to read it because no one watches these anyway, so if one person comments, I always read it. But yeah, hopefully, it's a pretty dramatic gecko for someone like me and my small little, I've bred fat tails for 2 years, but I put a lot of my own money and I worked 2 jobs, and it's my passion and it shows. And hopefully people start to realize that. Maybe they'll check my channel out, and that'll help me grow, and that'll get me even nicer animals, and I can show them off to you guys. So I'm James from James with Reptiles. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.